What is up, everyone? It's your girl Grizzly here. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a very highly requested video, which is just in general, you guys like my story times. And something actually happened to me. When was this? Today is Wednesday, and this happened on Friday or Saturday, I believe. So very recently, if you follow me on Snapchat, that's where I kind of posted a little bit about it. I posted this video. This is what you saw. I guess people were kind of confused. They thought I was hurt, and you know, they just wanted to know if everything was okay. And I never really cleared things up because I figured that like this whole situation got me so upset. I was so mad at this entire situation, and I figured I might as well just talk about it because I just wanted to make it into a bit. I wanted to talk about it, you know. There's only so many people I can tell. I don't even talk to that many people, so it's like, how many people can I tell, you know? So I was just like really mad, and I still am. When I think about the whole situation, I get so frustrated, and it really just it gets under my skin. But basically, so I'm going to be talking about how I witnessed a car accident, a pretty bad car accident, and basically child endangerment. And you always hear these stories about how parents don't take care of their kids, you know, they're under the influence, and they may care the most about their kids, but they don't put their kids in the safest situations or other situations where they harm their kids. And just the thought of putting a child in danger, the thought of hurting a child is something that really upsets me. It's one of the things that really irritates me the most. And I don't know, it's just, I love kids, and you guys have asked me, oh, like, you want kids? I want kids so bad. Won't be happening anytime soon, but yeah. So just, I guess I'll just get it right into the story. So what had happened was I was leaving the gym, and I was just on my way home. So I was driving down the street, and where I was at, the city I was in, it has a lot of bridges because you're going over like freeways and stuff like that. So there's not really many areas to stop. And so I got behind this car. It was a black car, older model. I don't really know. I would have to look at the picture of the car to see what kind of car it is. But I mean, you'll see anyways. But basically, I was behind the car, and I noticed that its hazard lights were on, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my distance because if you guys know me well enough, you know I have very bad luck with car situations. I was driving behind the car, and I was like, okay, why does it have its hazard lights on? And I started seeing pieces flying from the car, and I was like, oh damn, its tire is blown out. There was like the passenger side, the front passenger, that wheel, it was blown out, and it hadn't, like, it was fine, like he still had a good time to stop, but we were going over a bridge, so he couldn't really stop anywhere. So I was like, okay, so once we pass the bridge, he's gonna turn out, you know, do what he gotta do, but not keep driving, you know. Nope. It was stoplight after stoplight. He kept driving. We go over another bridge. I know people are gonna be like, but why didn't you call the police? I did not know what was going on. I thought he knew, but apparently not. So he keeps driving, and when we go over the second bridge, and the entire wheel flies off, like not the wheel, okay, the entire tire flies off. And I was like, bitch, you need to stop. And he didn't. He really didn't. And we got to a stoplight. His tire had already flown off, and the light turns green, and he doesn't go. So I was like, okay, that's it, game over, the car is dead. I started to go around him because I was like, okay, he's not gonna go anywhere, he can't drive like that. And then all of a sudden he's like this, and I start to go around him. Right when, as I'm right next to him, he speeds off. Like, he starts to go, he realizes the light is green, and he starts to go. And I was like, I'm gonna just keep my distance because I'm messing with this guy. And he was like swerving all over the place because of the tire. Like, the tire was not, like, he couldn't control it. He could not control the car. And he was just stopping all hard at stoplights, behind cars, almost hitting people. And I was like, this ain't gonna end well. So we're pulling up to another red light, and there's 3 lanes. There's a lane to turn left, there's the 2 lanes to go straight. He was in the first lane to go straight, and I was in the 3rd lane to go straight as well. And I'm just like keeping my distance. He's up here, I'm back here, and this boy isn't stopping. Straight 40 miles per hour, just keeps going. And I was just like watching, like, oh no, this is bad. Keeps going, swerves because of his tire, or I don't know. I don't know if he was under the influence. Swerves into the lane that's turning left. There's 2 cars in the lane that's turning left. Hits a van like really, really hard. Like I just see like his car like kind of like bounce up and then down. So my light turned green to go straight, and I was like, and I saw that their light turned green and they turned out. And because of the way he was driving, I was like, he better stop. Like he better not like take off, you know, and leave this guy that just got hit there, you know. So I made a U-turn at the next light, and I was like, I'm gonna see if everything's okay. I did see everything that happened, so, you know, might as well. I pull up to the 2 cars. The guy that hit was in his car, and the guy that got hit was outside of his car, like at the guy's window talking to him when I pulled up. So I walk up to the car, and the guy was like, kind of like looking at me like, who are you? What is you doing? And I was like, oh, I saw everything that happened. Is everything okay? Like I saw he hit you really hard. And he was just like, yeah, like I'm just like, I'm a little hurt, but I'm okay. Like he has a kid in the car. And right when he said that, I was like, he was driving like that and he has a kid in the car. So I look in the car, and this little girl crying her eyes out in the passenger seat on the floor, no car seat, bleeding from her face, just like screaming in tears. Like just like talking about this makes me so upset. She was honestly hurt. Like I really this just makes me so mad. The fact that he hit so hard and she was not in a car seat and she's bleeding, I swear I wanted to sock this guy in the face so hard. So right after that happened, like I was fine, you know, I was like chilling. I look at this guy and I was like, why is she not in a car seat? Like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, you know, like that was what I was on my way to go do and pick up the car seat and all this stuff. Like I should be consoled, like you know, making her feel better right now. As she's crying, he's not doing anything to like help her. I was like, pick her up. Like, what are you doing? She's bleeding. Is she okay? Like, check on her. And he was like, oh, she's fine. She just hit her face with my face and it's my blood. And I was like, you're not bleeding. She is. So it's not your blood. I don't even know if you're lying or telling the truth that you were holding her, because why would she be on the floor in the passenger seat bleeding when there's no blood on you? Like, it to me it seems like she was in the passenger seat and she just like boom hit like the front, like the dash or whatever, and fell on the floor. That's what it seems like to me. And this like 2-year-old girl, she was honestly like the cutest thing. I felt so bad for her. Like I was trying to have conversation with this guy, figure out what was going on, why in the first place, just why, like please enlighten me, let me know. He, you could tell, was either under the influence or just not mentally okay, and I just was in shock. And the other guy that got hit, he called the police and then they were sending an ambulance and all that, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna stick around just in case they need anything from me, because you know I did see everything. I'm just like standing over there by the grass area. He does end up picking his like little girl up, and I was like, okay, he's holding on to her, that's okay, like, you know, it's her dad, you know. And so he ends up getting out of the car, and the way he's holding her, like he's kind of like cradling her, but he's walking, so he's kind of like out of it, like talking like, you know, like I didn't mean to do it, this and that, like this whole situation, and like swinging her around. She's still bawling, she's screaming, and I was like, bitch. I go up to him and I was like, give me her, like right now, give me her. No question, nothing. He didn't even care. Gave me her. Just like nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was just like I was holding her. I sat on the grass with her, and like she started falling asleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, she can't fall asleep right now. Like I know she hit her head. Something happened. And so I was just trying to like keep her up or whatever. Thank God, like the like, you know, where the ambulance. Oh, I just hit my nails against the wall. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That made me cringe. Oh my god. Okay, they were really close. Like the fire department and the police department were like literally lights down, like super close. So that was a really good thing. And they come or whatever, and he's just talking all this nonsense. No shirt, no shoes, just like crazy talk. And the car was really messed up. I took this video actually the day after it happened because the car was still there. So I was like, I'm gonna go, you know, to be able to show you guys, you know, like how the car looked. You could tell he hit really, really hard. So this was the car. When the paramedics get there, they come up to me, and it was like I understood that the paramedics were trying to like lighten up the situation. One of them comes up to me and was like, oh, you're not the mom. You don't seem like the mom. You're too young, and you wouldn't be with this guy. I was like, no, I witnessed everything, and I took her away from him, and that's that. And he was like, because my hat is a Jenny 69 hat, and it says chingona as fuck or AF. And he was like, oh, because you're just like chingona AF. Like you saw everything and you helped. And I was just like, can you please like make sure she's okay? So they were like checking on her or whatever. They were like asking him all these questions like, how old is she? What's her name? All this crap. They were asking him questions about what happened, and he kept asking me. Like as if I was in the car with him, and I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? What he was saying, like, it did not seem that he was all there. He was either on something or just, I really don't know the situation. I really want to know the full situation about what happened. But the police ended up showing up. They, you know, got whatever. I saw my information and all that. That was basically it. It's just everything that he was saying wasn't making sense. At one point he was like, oh, have you dated any of these tattoo guys? Like, you look really familiar. You have a familiar face. He's like, what's your name? Like asking me all these questions. And I was like, I don't know you, but okay. But that was basically the whole situation of what happened, and it just made me really upset, and a lot of you guys wanted to know what happened, so I figured I'd just make it into a story time because, you know, you guys like my story times. I really just wanted to bring light to this story because these things do happen. Like, kids are put in danger all the time, and it's just sad. And if I can ever help, I will, and that's what I did in that situation. I really just needed to be there and help the little girl. They checked her out. They said that she seemed to be okay, but she was like dazed. I really want to know what ended up happening, but I don't know. I know obviously they arrested him. He didn't have his license. He didn't really have anything. It's so crazy that things like that just happen. And I think that we're so closed-minded to the fact that these things actually do happen. And I'm talking more in like on a broader sense. You know, there's worse things that happen out there. And this is just something that I saw, and I was just like, it kind of just like opened my eyes a little bit more, because as people, we don't want to think that these things actually do happen, and they do, and it's not okay, and there's a chance where you can help. I do believe that you should, and that's just my opinion on the situation, and that's just what happened, and I just really wanted to talk about it and bring light to the situation. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much. If you guys like my story times, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are not, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.